What's going on, Who Dat Nation? Welcome into another live edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live program. No matter where you are, how you're watching, we always appreciate the Who Dat Nation for spending some time with us each and every day, but especially during our Wednesday live shows and during our game day watch parties. I got my guy, Loco Lopez, on the ones and twos, and fun fact, we are in a brand new studio, new home, because you guys helped us move up here in the chat sports world. So we're in a bigger space. I got a bigger desk. Lopez has multiple desks over there. We have a much bigger TV, and that is all a testament to y'all. So I just want to say thank you so much. I want to say we really do appreciate you guys, and I also want to say y'all stay golden. And you guys ought to give me a stay golden in the comments section, and I'll give you a shout out. I see Clay Walker, Sonia, Queen Courtney, Jerry G, Buddy Bear, what's going on, buddy? Jartavius, what's happening? Jerry G, I appreciate you. Jerry saying I don't. Buddy Bear, if you don't, Jerry, you are not allowed to do anything to Buddy Bear because he is a Chat Sports legend. He is a long-term personal friend, big fan of a lot of the Chat Sports content, and I'm a big fan of Buddy Bear. So, Jerry, I'm going to tell you right now, don't even think about putting him in timeout because if you do, we're going to have a problem. Just messing with you, Jerry. But seriously, don't put him in timeout. Buddy Bear's a legend here. He's earned the right to stick around and say whatever he wants to say. Sonia, I see you in the chat. Jerry, Robert, Eric, Sean, what's going on to y'all? Jerry, appreciate you, brother. Sonia saying, wish I could have chosen neither quarterback. We're in trouble. Stay golden. Yeah, go vote in the live poll right now. Tyler Shough leading who should be the QB1 versus the Jaguars. Lopez, I want to ask you that question because you know, for a minute there, I feel like we have both been very open that Spencer Rattler should be the starter week one. I feel like that's been a kind of shared opinion, if you ask me. But I got to say, I think Tyler Shough looked really good preseason week one, despite having that pick six. I understand that happened. Outside of that, I think he had a pretty good game.
Week one preseason, Tyler Shough winner. He was the one. He won that round. Rattler's been winning in the training camp, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But it seems like on the field against other competition, Tyler Shough looked better last week.
Yeah.
I want to see how Spencer Rattler bounces back.
Yeah, and that's like the big thing too, and Kellen Moore's put a lot of emphasis on that. It's not about how you play. Sure, that's a part of it, but you know, just as, if not more important, how do you respond? How do you respond to adversity? How do you respond to mistakes? Whenever you get hot, can you stay hot? Don't get too high, don't get too low. You know, always operating at an efficient level. Those are all things, running the offense well, being a leader, those are all things that I believe Kellen Moore definitely values. And so for me, I'm going to say Tyler Shough should get the opportunity to start this week, in my personal opinion. Spencer Rattler got an opportunity last week. Tyler Shough should get an opportunity this week. Week 3 versus the Broncos, you know, we can let that be decided after the next game.
How much do you think each of them play this week?
I think Tyler Shough will get at least a quarter. I think Spencer Rattler will get a good amount as well. I think Spencer Rattler will play more than he did last week. Jake Haener will probably get some reps too. Maybe only a few. To me, it just feels like you got to figure it out between Haener and Shough. If it's my opinion, or Rattler and Shough, excuse me. If it's my opinion, you go one half with one half with the other. That's what I would do. But I don't know. Shout out your city for me. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I see Jerry G, as always, tuning in from Gulfport, Mississippi. We have other people tuned in from all over the place. Where are you guys at? We are in Dallas, Texas, behind enemy lines, just a few hours away from the great city of New Orleans. Jartavius, always tuned in Arkansas. Shout out to you. Eric in Baton Rouge. Sean, tuning in from Kansas City. PKM in the 337 in Lafayette. We got New Orleans from Benjamin. Moss Point, Mississippi from Braden. I don't know how to say Avery's. How do you say that one, Lopez? You're the Louisiana. Vachery. That's what I thought it was going to be, but I was like, I don't want to sound like an idiot. Vachery, Louisiana from Avery. Where is Vachery? Okay, cool. New York in the chat. From Eric Brown, the South Pole, as always. Ethan hanging out with the South Pole Elves. Ernesto in Tucson, Arizona. Bunkie, Louisiana. Montreal. We are now Who Dat Worldwide, not Who Dat Nation. Alexandria, Louisiana from Curtis. Mississippi in the building. Gulfport. to be exact. Shout out to Jerry G. Brandon, Lafayette, New Orleans from Who Dat Fam. Central Baton Rouge from Clay. Clay, are you a student at LSU by any chance, or are you planning on going to LSU? If you are, let me know since you're out in Baton Rouge. Not trying to like ask you your age or anything. I just didn't know if you're like a student at LSU or something. Los Angeles from Creel. Baltimore from Queen Courtney. What did you ask in the chat?
We're about like 20 minutes away from New Orleans. It's great.
Okay.
It's a great little city.
Okay. Tell me one cool thing about your hometown, other than that's where you live.
I went to high school with Justin Jefferson.
That's really cool. That is a really cool fun fact. Good one. Marie is in Baltimore. Kensley in Mississippi. Vatry, home of the Oak Alley Plantation. I don't know what. To be honest, I don't know.
Been there so many fucking times for field trips.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those.
See, we have a couple of those spots out here that everyone who went to school around. I grew up in Dallas, for those of y'all who don't know. But everyone who grew up in the Dallas area, or like DFW, we all go to the same like 4 or 5 different field trip locations. It's insane. Slide L from Daniel. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Want to give y'all a quick update. We are still in the midst of adding names into our monthly Super Chat raffle. We're giving away a Gold Saints jersey of your choice. All you need to do is either today send a $5 Super Chat, Venmo, or Cash App, or you can wait till game day and send $10, and you get a raffle ticket. So $5, you get one, and that's today. You can wait till game day, and the price goes up. If you send me a Venmo or a Cash App, the price double, or you get 2 times the value, so feel free to hit me up over there. But $5 Super Chat if you would like to get one of these fresh jerseys. Again, you get to pick your player. It can be Cam Jordan. It can be Alvin Kamara, obviously. I saw Chris Olave, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Fun fact, I got my girlfriend, Maddie, a gold Kool-Aid McKinstry jersey for her birthday. She's an Alabama fan. Loved Kool-Aid McKinstry. When we drafted him, she was ecstatic. And then changes the number to 4. Aura points just go through the roof. And then it's a gold jersey that just skyrockets it even more, propels it to the stratosphere of Aura. So you can get one of these for just $5. I paid a lot more money because I love my girlfriend. It was a birthday gift, and I didn't want to wait. But you can get one for $5. Just send in a Super Chat, support the show, and we're giving away one of these jerseys at the end of the month. The last watch party of the month of August is when we're going to be raffling this away. So if you do enter the raffle, I encourage you to tune into the live show so that way you can make sure and check in to see if you have still good odds or see if your odds got a little bit worse and ultimately see if you win. If we do get to $100 in total today, that's the big goal that we have. We will do some beer bonging. We'll do a little racing. Last week I bested Lopez the first time he bested me, so series is tied. We got to see who's going to take the lead. So $100, we'll get to that within the live show. Queen Courtney, I see you in the chat. $5 Super Chat. I appreciate you. Going to add you to our watch party raffle list. Allen, I see Jalen for QB. Not sure. Darian, I don't know if there's Drew. Let me see if there's Drew Brees ones. I don't think there are. I don't think that there's Drew Brees. I'll tell you which ones I see right now that we have in
Jake
our.
Hayner might be in stock.
Huh?
Jake Hayner might be in stock.
So Alvin Kamara, Jake Hayner, Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, Kool-Aid McKinstry. I said Kamara, Cam Jordan, Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave. I said Taysom Hill, Tyrann Mathieu, Tyler Shough. Derek Carr jerseys are on sale, by the way, for those of you who are curious. No Archie Manning, unfortunately. That would be electric. Yeah. So, what I say? Tyler Shough. Oh, let me go to the jerseys. Hold on. Let me just make this life easier. If you want to get a gold jersey, here's the ones we have available. Alvin Kamara, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Taysom Hill, Cam Jordan, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Tyrann Mathieu, Tyler Shough. Yes, but we're not doing custom ones. Yeah, that's the gold ones. So there you go. Pretty good selection there, I would say. You can get a lot of different legends. But yeah, not a lot of people have gold jerseys. If you want to get one, you can get one too. Avery, that is awesome. That is awesome. Going to at least try, even though others have way more than I do. Queen Courtney, your odds are 0 unless you put one in. So you at least have a chance. For what it's worth, the last one raffle that we gave away, it was for the person who won it was Rhett. He only had one entry. So, Queen Courtney, may the odds ever be in your favor. Avery Love, here's the thing. I want you guys to shout out in the comment section the most ridiculous Saints jersey that you would buy. Like, I'm talking Eli Apple. I'm talking, like Avery Love said, Brandon Browner. I mean, what's the most Derek Carr?
Give me a Jarius Byrd jersey
Jarius
right now.
Byrd. Ian Book. Dude, get me an Ian Book rookie jersey. Give me an Ugo Amadi jersey. Number 0. Give me a number 0 Ugo Amadi jersey. That's what I want. That's what I want.
These looks
yeah,
nice.
No, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. It's a
ridiculous.
ridiculous. Like, who the hell's gonna own an Ugo Amadi jersey? No disrespect to Ugo Amadi. For what it's worth, I might get one. Actually, I might get one. I might get one because I know there's probably not a lot of those out there, and be like, fuck it, I'm gonna be one of the guys who has one. That might be the bit. That might be one of the goals. 1 week. You know what the goal might be? It's like, all right, if we can get to 1,000 super chats, I'll buy an Ugo Amadi number 0 jersey. That could be so fun.
That's going to be one of those jerseys people are going to see you wearing, and they'll be like, I wonder if that guy's related to.
Yeah,
that's
they're going to be like, dude, is that his cousin?
Jersey. Yeah.
Is that Unk? Avery, I did not see a gold Brandon Browner jersey, but, I mean, anything's possible, I guess. We don't have those in stock, I can tell you right now. Girouard! What's going on, my man? You just got 2 entries into the raffle. Appreciate your $10 super chat. Emmanuel Sanders from Ethan, Ted Ginn, Mike McKenzie, Joe Burrow Saints jersey, a Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater Saints jersey would actually go crazy. Des Bryant Saints jersey would be so tough. Look, if I was still in college, if anyone out there is either A, a high schooler close to going to college, B, in college, or C, has a grandson, a kid, a family member that's in college, get them just like a really cool, like obscure player for a jersey for Darties, because kids love that kind of stuff. For what it's worth, I think it would go so hard to have a Jameis Winston Saints jersey. That would be the ultimate party day jersey. Johnny Manziel, another great one to have for Darties. It's overused, but it's a classic. It's a classic. Jabari Greer. That would be funny. Des Bryant Saints, though, would be an all-time Darty jersey.
Like, get the chance to, like, produce those before.
I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm looking it up right now.
Because, like, what was it? 2-3 days he was on the roster?
I believe it was 72 hours, yes, before he got hurt. I'm going to find one.
Another jersey like that, going in the NBA route, Carmelo Anthony, Atlanta Hawks jersey.
Yes.
If you get one of those,
yes,
that's fire.
That would go crazy. Look, I think you would have to customize it. I might do that one day. Get 88.
Treat yourself.
Dude. How much is it to customize a jersey?
Oh, that kid didn't fucking nuke.
Oh, yeah, Lopez has the College World Series on again, so we're going to be tuning in and giving you updates on what is it, Panama versus Australia. Aussie! Oi! So you can customize jerseys for $170. 1,000% going to have to get. I'm going to have to fucking get the Des Bryant one. That would go so crazy. Adrian Peterson Saints would be fun. A Jamarcus Russell jersey would be electric too. Yes, we need to get Mitch a Jamarcus Russell jersey. That would be awesome. I bought an Alvin Kamara jersey for my girlfriend and had to buy. I hope Maddie's not listening. I bought my ex-girlfriend a Alvin Kamara jersey, and 6 months later, she broke up with me. So that's why I'm not buying any Alvin Kamara jerseys for anybody. That one's off the table until he retires. At least not. I'll buy one for myself.
So I'm guessing you didn't get the jersey back.
No.
You didn't have it back.
I'm fairly positive it is either somewhere at a Goodwill or has been burned or in a dumpster somewhere. I know for a fact that thing did not get kept.
And well.
Anyway, so $100 total. We'll get to some beer bongs.
$500. Trizzy tells the story.
$500 story time with Trizzy. We'll have a therapy session. Yeah, with Trizzy. We'll debrief Trizzy's entire history of life. That's what we'll do. We'll just go through all of his past life and all of the things that have happened up until now in his 26 years of life. Yeah, that's the goal. We're at $20 right now. Making pretty good progress. We're a fifth of the way there. Lopez, it's showtime. It's showtime. Let's get to 20. We're at 69 likes, or 69 viewers. That's awesome. Let's get to 25 likes, 30 likes, somewhere in that mix right there. And we'll get to this injury news because we have notable updates and important information to discuss around multiple key players, some starters on both offense and defense. We have injury updates around Taysom Hill, injury updates on Foster Moreau. So we want to make sure y'all are informed. We want to make sure you guys are entertained, and we want to make sure y'all are engaging with us here on the content. So be sure to like this video. Be sure to get in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe here to Saints Now by Chat Sports. We go live every single Wednesday around 4 p.m. Central Time. My name is Trizzy Trace. That's my guy, Loco Lopez. We go live for watch parties every Sunday, too. The most electric, most energetic atmosphere you could possibly be outside of course, being at the Dome. So let's get to work, fellas. I feel like it's time to start talking some football. We're going to start off, like I mentioned, with some injury updates, major news, major notable updates for
multiple key players. So we're going to talk about that. Saints fans getting more bad news, unfortunately. And now, we're going to have to just continue to talk about it because originally Will Clapp was hurt. Now we're having other people get hurt now. It's unfortunate. I hate it. Brandon! Okay. Yeah, Brandon, I've just put you in on the raffle list. You're in, as Mitchell Wren says. All right, here's the deal. If we get to $50 before we're at 25, somebody wants to blow the roof off this, I'll start sipping I'll sip this while we're talking ball, the entirety. I'll just take breaks, sip it, and we'll just have a party. I need to crack one open. It's been a long Wednesday. Brandon, Kenny Pickett to the Saints. I saw an article about it. I also saw it. I'm pretty sure I saw the exact same article. Look, I think if you were to make a move for a quarterback, you would have done it by now. I don't know why you would wait until after the preseason.
See who gets cut.
That's true. See who gets cut, maybe. But I just for a trade. I think that that's kind of tough because, like I said, I have a hard time believing if the Saints wanted to trade for a quarterback that they would do it in a few weeks. I feel like they would have done it already. If he gets cut, maybe. I doubt he gets cut because Shough is now hurt. But Kenny Pickett to the Saints could. I mean, it's definitely an interesting idea. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I definitely for what? To compete with Rattler and Hayner to be QB2, QB3,
see that competition.
Yeah, I'm good. I feel like that's again. If you wanted to make a move if this was an idea 3-4 months ago, sure, I'd tease this idea. I'd have a conversation about it. But at the current state of where you are in the NFL calendar year, I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. We're going to get into some injury updates. Let me get a quick sip of water. Out of the pipes, as I say. Yeah, Jerry, I would love to do call-ins. We used to have the ability to do that. I'm trying to figure out. I want to see if we can figure out a way to do that during the season because I think that'd be a lot of fun. Well, so what we did is there was this app called Call-In. And it was actually a sponsor for Eagles and for 49ers when I was producing for Chase. And you'd plug it into the soundboard, and Chase's phone would be right here. And so how you would get plugged in here, he would be able to talk to and listen to them through the microphone, but the audience would also be able to hear it too. So that was like, I always thought that was super sick. So we've done that before. It is a little bit tricky to set up, and it is a little bit tough. I don't know how likely it is that we would do that, but I really would be down. I think it would be a lot of fun. It's just a matter of, it's a matter of whether or not it just makes sense from the boss's standpoint and stuff. So, we have to see what happens there. Danny saying he loves the New Orleans Saints. Who Dat Nation 72 saying, Trace, where do you think I can get a Demario Davis jersey? I can give you a link right now. Give me 2 seconds. No, it's the Demario Davis. I have a link for one. So this is going to take you, this link I'm going to put in there is just going to take you to all the jerseys, but you can find Demario Davis on there.
Nice host. What a nice host.
If you guys want to get a jersey, click that link. We have a bunch of different jerseys you can have. Demario Davis is in that list, but if you wanted to scroll through and see if there's any other ones you wanted to get, feel free to click that link, check it out, get some gear. All righty, let's talk about it. Major injury updates for multiple players, Saints fans, some bad news that we have to discuss here on the channel. Lopez, whenever you're ready, my friend, let's dive on in. We got some major injury updates to discuss around some key players for the New Orleans Saints. As us fans may have gotten some more bad news earlier this week, Will Clapp placed on IR. He is out for the season, and now we have more injury updates. The injury bug is absolutely destroying the Saints already, and if you're with me, I hate injuries. I can't stand them. They ruin sports. They're so frustrating, and it's something you necessarily can't always control, but I just hate them. And if you're with me, just like the video. If you agree that injuries are just awful and so dang annoying to have to work around and deal with and talk about, like this video, because it's the worst, man. It's the absolute freaking worst. Let's talk Trevor Penning first. Offensive lineman supposed to be starting left guard. He suffered a turf toe injury, according to Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football. He did deal with this in his rookie season. It did sideline him in his rookie campaign, and it did hurt his development then. And I do believe this could hurt his development now, and I don't think that having Trevor Penning miss time is really good for anybody. He did, however, avoid a major injury. It's believed that he isn't expected to have anything crazy. He should be able to return in about 4 to 6 weeks. Is sort of in doubt to play week 1 against the Cardinals, but, it's like kind of bad news because there's a lot of factors here and the impacts a lot with Trevor Penning, but it's also like silver lining. It could be a lot worse. Either way, this is not good news for the New Orleans Saints. Trevor Penning's replacement did not he did not play well last week. He did, for what it's worth, Dylan Radins played all of his snaps at left tackle and right tackle. Traditionally, he's lined up on the interior of the offensive line, so theoretically, this should be a better spot for him. It should lead to better results on the offensive line. The Saints signed Dylan Radins in free agency this offseason to provide some quality depth in the offensive line. Allowed 2 sacks last week against the Chargers, 66.8 overall PFF grade, 2 penalties. You want Trevor Penning back on the field. Just for what it's worth, I don't think we want Dylan Radins starting whatsoever. I think we're much better off having him be a backup. Alontae Taylor, more updates to get to. He did suffer a groin injury last Friday before the Chargers preseason game. He's expected to be out for a while, according to reports. That's not really awesome to hear, considering he's supposed to have a really, really large role on the Saints defense, and that star role that Brandon Staley utilized Jalen Ramsey in whenever he was with the Rams. It's believed, though, that Alontae Taylor has avoided anything major, and he should be week to week. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not like he's out for the season. It's not like it's expected that he'll miss some significant time, but he is expected to miss, a little bit of time, which isn't awesome. And you do have some interesting options as replacements. Terrell Burgess was brought in through free agency, but Ugo Amadi is a player that's been with the Saints. Here's how both players fared in the preseason matchup last week. Ugo Amadi has played at a high level multiple times when his number has been called. Sure, he's made mistakes, but I do think when it comes to the Saints defense, he's a player that has been around the team for a while. He's a player that has answered the call enough for me to believe in him as a backup, but this, for what it is worth, is a big blow to the defense. Alontae Taylor's injury is not something to, really brush over. He's supposed to have a very significant role on this defense, and he's been stepping up as a leader. He's been stepping up in terms of being more vocal. He's been more present on the field, been making plays, been flying around the field. He's been having a nose for the football. Hopefully this really isn't anything super serious, and hopefully this isn't an injury that lingers and keeps him off the field, especially considering, the not so distant future of next offseason. You have decisions to make with a lot of these guys, Alontae Taylor being one of them. But Kellen Moore, he understands that this is a player that's not very good to lose, and he's been very complimentary of Alontae Taylor in the past. He's said that he loves watching number one. He's everything you want. He's got juice every day. I just feel like he's going to become a really prominent leader for our team. And I will say, when it comes to Alontae Taylor, I want to see him get back. I want to see him be healthy. Obviously, don't rush him back to injury or rush him back from injury and risk further injury, but you do want him on the field on the Saints defense. The injuries in New Orleans are piling up, and it feels like every day we have more updates to share. And every single day there are updates to provide. We're going to be the ones who got you covered. Subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports to get more content around the black and gold. We go live multiple times a week. We have awesome watch parties, and we provide daily news, updates, and rumors around your favorite football team. It's Saints content by fans for fans. How could you not subscribe? Now, coming up, we're going to talk more injury updates on some key players. We have to talk about Taysom Hill, Foster Moreau, because head coach Kellen Moore did provide some new information on these players. But really quick, we do have to tell you about really awesome sale that we have going on. These polos, they were $70, but now you can get one for $47. Chatsports.com/NO Polo. That's New Orleans Polo, obviously. You can get it in this color that's striped. It's a Nike Polo. It's really, really nice. It's really fresh, perfect for the golf course, perfect for, going and day drinking around town, or, rocking it to the Superdome on game day. Get yourself some new Saints gear. Chatsports.com/No Polo. I made the link clickable in the comments and description of this video, so just scroll on down, click on it, and get yourself some new swag. Injury updates as promised. Taysom Hill, Foster Moreau, two tight ends that are supposed to have fairly prominent roles, especially Taysom Hill, in Kellen Moore's offense. They are not getting back to the field anytime soon, according to head coach Kellen Moore. In terms of Foster Moreau, obviously, you want to see him be around because Juwan Johnson, he is your tight end one, but Kellen Moore has been known to heavily utilize and lean on the tight end position, and considering you don't have a lot of size in terms of pass catching options in the wide receiver department, Foster Moreau, Juwan Johnson, those are your two biggest targets. You want both of them available as much as possible. Taysom Hill, we know what he can do. We know how important he is. Obviously, stinks that he's not going to be around anytime soon. But for what it's worth, that isn't really new information. That's not really shocking to hear for Taysom Hill. The expectation has been and still is that he will not be back until closer to the middle/later portions of the season. So for Taysom Hill, I do think that he will return and still have a role, but, consider everything, his age, the injury severity, and, what's going on with his team. You have to be prepared to not have him around for quite some time. We can take an updated look at the tight end room in New Orleans. Like we mentioned, Juwan Johnson is the leading guy. Foster Moreau, Taysom Hill, we mentioned dealing with injuries, but 7th round pick Maliki Mataval, He's a player that has the opportunity to step up, especially with two guys missing on the depth chart due to injury. Jack Stoll, Michael Jacobs, and Trayton Welch. Those are other players that can really take advantage of an opportunity here. Seth Green, he was released. He is now back. He's a former quarterback, transitioned to tight end, former UFL player with the Arlington Renegades. I'll tell you right now, I do think that it's bad news that the tight end depth chart hasn't really gotten positive updates, because a healthy tight end room for the New Orleans Saints would make a massive, massive difference for this offense. Kellen Moore is a head coach who has been known to lean on and utilize that tight end position at every stop he's been at. Whether it's a starting tight end, whether it's a backup tight end, he knows how to lean on these players and lean on their skill sets. He's also not shied away from putting two tight ends out on the field. He's even been on record as a Saints head coach, been saying, look, if you have two premier tight ends, you're going to find a way to get them on the field. So I do think that that is a massive position, or that the New Orleans Saints need to get healthy, especially in that room. Everywhere else, of course, is very important, but you really want to see the tight end room get healthy, because the Saints offense definitely gets a lot more firepower back whenever the room is healthy versus whenever it's not. You're missing a lot of size, and you're missing a lot of explosive playability and a lot of versatility for guys on the field. Other injuries that we will discuss and have discussed, we've talked about Will Clapp. We provided full breakdowns initially whenever the injury happened, and then, of course, when he was placed on IR. If you want to go check out that information, it's linked in the comments and description of this video. But he has been placed on IR with a foot injury. His season is done. Bub Means, he will miss some time with an ankle injury. Want to see him get back healthy as well, because he is the largest pass catcher in terms of height and weight that the Saints have in the wide receiver room. So definitely going to miss having him around. It stinks that he's dealing with another ankle injury. Running back Devin Neal, he is dealing with a hamstring injury still. Good news there. He was working off to the side with trainers yesterday at practice. Same with JT Gray, also dealing with a hamstring injury. He was working off to the side with trainers as well. And Jasheen Davis, the edge rusher, he's also dealing with an injury as well. He's a player who's been really, really impressive throughout the summer and been really having an impressive training camp especially. So I want to see him get healthy as well, to have an opportunity to make some plays in the preseason and potentially make the roster. Now, I'm just going to finish the show by saying this. It feels like this team is cursed. I know we always joke about voodoo and New Orleans and that culture in terms of, the black magic and witch doctor and all that, yada, yada, yada. I just feel like the New Orleans Saints have an injury curse. It feels like somewhere, some way, somehow, somebody put a bad spell on the New Orleans Saints, and the injury bug will never, ever, ever leave the New Orleans Saints. It doesn't matter who the head coach is, doesn't matter who's on the roster, doesn't matter anything like that. So I will say this, I just feel like this team is cursed, and we got to squash this injury bug. So let's do it together. Help me out if you haven't already. We're going to like this video. You smash the thumbs up icon, and that's going to crush this injury bug. So let's squash it right now together. Hit the thumbs up icon and like this video. That's going to do it for us here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. That's my guy, producer Loco Lopez. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. Booyah. I need to, whenever you make the cut for that segment, let me know. I want to, because there was a part of it, I want to go back and, because I misspoke on something. We're all Gucci. Trizzy, Who Dat Nation says, now Trizzy is just sitting around. I'm clearly standing.
We got a new studio. We got a chair.
Hey, there's two of me. What's going on, gang?
One's just sitting around.
One's just sitting around.
That's it.
All righty, gang. Quick update. We are at $25. We're $75 away from getting a beer bong race on today's show. If you haven't already, get yourself a raffle ticket. We're sending a Gold Saints jersey of your choice to one lucky viewer. You have to send in a $5 super chat today, or you could wait, send $10 on game day, and you get the same value. You can get one raffle ticket today for $5, or you can get one raffle ticket on Sunday for $10. Like, which one is the better odds there? Or which one's the better value?
Speaking of someone that is very money saving right now.
Yeah.
The $5 one sounds like
$5. I mean, dude, imagine that. You get a gold Saints jersey for $5. You kidding me? That's
can't beat that deal.
No, dude, you really
It's a
can't.
deal.
So if you want to win a gold Saints jersey, you at least win an opportunity or have an opportunity to win one. Send in the $5 super chat today. If you send in $10, you'll get 2 tickets. $20, you get 4. $50, you get 10. You see kind of how that works. Easy way to support the show. Easy way to send us a little tip and let the bosses know that we're doing something right. So if you'd like to get in on the raffle, like to get in on the giveaway, feel free to send in a donation. We are going to get into a mailbag here pretty soon, so be sure to use hashtag Saints. Better yet, like we said, send in a super chat. A little more of an incentive. If you do send in a super chat, you skip the line. We spend more time on your question, have a little bit more fun with it, and we get to truly have a conversation and break it down in full detail and stuff. Use hashtag Saints. We're still going to get to it and stuff, but it's just going to be pushed back a little bit for anybody who super chats. Questions, hot takes, trade ideas, anything. Let me know. Get in the comments. We want to hear from you. If you don't use hashtag Saints, then our software or super chat, but if you don't use hashtag Saints, then our software just won't work. It's not y'all. It's not us. It's the computer. It's the software. It's just how it is. So if you guys want to, what? Damn, Bub means placed on injured reserve. All right. Let's, literally 2 seconds ago. Let's refilm that segment. I'm going to be honest. Okay. Hold on. Can you send me full screen? Because this will be the short that we'll have Aiden do. Yep, exactly. Damn, man. Ankle. Damn. All right. Just push me across and I'll just rip it. Bad news continues to pile up for the New Orleans Saints. Bub Means, the wide receiver, has been placed on injured reserve due to an ankle injury, meaning his season is over. Be sure to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports on YouTube and follow me on social media for more updates around the black and gold. Let me restart. Fudge. I hate my life. Bad news continues to pile up for the New Orleans Saints as wide receiver Bub Means has been placed on injured reserve with an ankle injury, finishing his season for the 2025 year. This is really, really bad news because Bub Means, I thought, was going to have a really big role on the Saints offense with Kellen Moore. He was the biggest pass catcher in the wide receiver room for the black and gold in terms of height and weight. So this is a blow to the Saints offense, and I do think that they are going to be in the market for a big-bodied, physical wide receiver. I will encourage you to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports on YouTube. Follow me on social media for more updates because if anything happens around the Saints, I got you covered. All righty. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to put hold on, let me message Durham. Let me message Aiden.
Spam your 16s in the comment section for Bub Means. Spam your 16s. I'll give a couple of shout outs while we're waiting. Spam your 16s. I'll start. There we go. I see Eric Sims.
Okay. Damn it. I said it ended his season, right? It finished his season, yeah.
NMG activities. Spam it or put his 16. Come on. Hunter Paget. I see y'all. Come on.
I'm gonna grab a player bio.
Okay.
And we're gonna just put that. I do think we just need to refilm it because the Bub Means is on that injury or on that listicle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, yeah. Let's just refilm it. It was only 8 minutes. We'll refilm it. We'll do because I just want to make sure we have all the updates right, and then because yeah, sorry, 1 second. I need to put this in here.
For those of y'all at home that thought content creation was easy,
Yeah, it's not.
you're wrong.
It's not.
See Avery Love typing her 16s. Yannick, I see you. I see you. Put your 16 in there. Let's get a little preview, actually, for Sunday's game. Who y'all got?
Oh yeah, who you got? Who you got?
I don't know about you, but I'm kind of excited to see Travis Hunter. I'm very excited to see him play.
It was an ankle injury for Bub, right?
Yes. That's what it was listed as in the, listicle.
Yes. All right. I'm going to move that into player cards.
Okay.
I'm going to move it to the top because it's going to be the first thing we do. Damn, man, I freaking hate that.
Hey, good thing is, news came out today.
I know.
Instead
That's
of
why
like
you tune into the live
9:30
shows
tonight.
because we're going to tell you the news as soon as it happens. Damn, man. All right. We're going to refilm it. We're going to get right back into it. All righty, Lopez. So I'm going to update the script really quick, and then we can roll.
Okay.
Where'd my script go?
Just make sure that's good.
So we'll go just...
Oh, Shifter tweet just came through. And Mason Pline.
Yeah, that was old yesterday. That was
Okay.
yesterday, though. Okay, cool. We're good. All right, so it's just that player bio. That's all we're adding, and it's the very first player card.
Yeah.
Yep, that's good. Yeah, because I said. Yeah, because I said Bub means is expected to miss some time. Hopefully, it's not anything crazy. But yeah,
Spoiler,
let's
it was something crazy.
run it back. That's perfect. Cool.
Spoiler alert, was something crazy.
Huh?
Spoiler alert, was something crazy.
Yeah, I know, dude. That blows. So now the Saints.
We got a $5 super chat from Christian Russo. Put him in the raffle. We'll get you up there, Christian, in a second.
Oh my God, blows. Alrighty.
Also, did y'all have some card problems recently? Isaiah's asking if your card ever got fixed. Tire.
No, we haven't got the tire fixed yet. Isaiah, I gave her my car for the day, so Maddie got a nail in her tire, like a fucking big ass nail in her tire. And so I told her I'd get it fixed on Friday. Isaiah works at a car shop, so I was gonna go see, go support a guy who supports me. But she has my car, so she's not driving on it, so we're all good. It's parked at the parking garage. I'm just gonna have to drive with a nail in my girlfriend's tire from Dallas to McKinney. Well, because then I would have to come back and put it back on and stuff. I mean, it just feels like it. I know. Why don't I? But I could have them do it. Go to the professionals. Also, there is a reason why I can't just do that because my girlfriend lost like the locking nut. So Yes, it can, but I don't have the tools to do it. It has to be somebody who has them. I know. Last time she had something like this happen, she had to take it to the dealership. So, fingers crossed. Let's not overlook the fact that Shough was better than Bo Nix this past preseason game. Just say it, let him adjust up. Yeah, for what it's worth, I think it's hard to say he's better than Bo Nix if we've only seen one preseason game. That's just, for what it's worth, that's just hard to say. But I totally agree with you. Give him a little bit more time. Let him adjust. It's totally fine. Life will be okay. Just let's, give him a chance. All righty.
Yeah, how much you get some scratches out of my car? I hit a post in the parking lot the other day. Scratched my bumper. Oh, never mind. I just see it. Yeah, you said you don't do paint or body. Damn. Guess I'm living with the scratches in my car. Recommend Josh's Body Shop. Okay. If I save up the money, I might go check them out.
Okay.
All good.
Let's do this. Yep. So I'm going to have to update some stuff. All righty. We'll do it again. This sucks, man. I hate injuries, bro. This shit blows. All righty. Yes. Hold on. No.
$1 super chat right now. We'll do a beer bong race to forget the injuries.
All right, let's party. Well, the injury news just will not stop piling up for the New Orleans Saints. We have some major updates around multiple key players here on Saints Now by Chat Sports, and we're going to tell you everything you need to know as a Saints fan. I can tell you right now, one thing I do know for a fact is that I hate injuries. I can't stand them. They ruin sports. They piss me off. They ruin my mood. And quite frankly, they're just so dang frustrating. If you're with me, if you agree, hit the thumbs up icon and like this video. Let's squash that injury bug. Most recent update coming in just moments ago, wide receiver Bub Means has been placed on injured reserve, finishing his season due to an ankle injury. This is not good news. This is very unfortunate. He was carted off during the Chargers preseason game, which the Saints lost. And he was a player that I thought was going to have a major impact for the black and gold. Unfortunately, his season's over, and it's bad news because he was the biggest wide receiver in terms of height and weight on the roster. So now, in a wide receiver group that was already lacking size, is lacking even more. In terms of the players on the wide receiver room, here are the measurables. Look, Bub Means, 6'2", 215. For what it's worth, the Saints did work out 6'4" Justin Ross, former Clemson legend, two-time Super Bowl champion. So maybe he's an option. But his season is over. I was a big fan of Bub. I was rooting for him big time. And I actually thought he was going to be a big-time breakout candidate. I thought he was going to do some really big things. More injuries to discuss. Trevor Penning. We got reports from Nick Underhill over at NewOrleans.football that he suffered a turf toe injury. This is the similar injury that he dealt with his rookie season, which ultimately sidelined him in the middle of that campaign. And for what it's worth, the reports suggest that Penning avoided a major injury, but he is in doubt to potentially play on September 7th against the Cardinals, Week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. Recovery time, it's usually about 4 to 6 weeks. With the turf toe injury, you can return quicker, but this is an injury that has happened before for Trevor Penning. Hopefully this isn't an injury that will linger and cause more problems for Trevor Penning because moving from the tackle to the interior offensive line as the left guard, he was really starting to find his way and take some good steps at training camp and at practices. And obviously now this is really bad because now for a player who's already, lacked in development, it's only getting more lacking, if you will. And so that's just not good news. Dylan Radins is the player who's going to be replacing Trevor Penning. He did play all of his snaps in the Chargers preseason game at left tackle and right tackle. Traditionally, he's played on the interior. So hopefully this is a move that would make him more comfortable and lead to better results. He was signed as a free agent to provide quality depth on the offensive line as a backup. Hopefully he doesn't have to be a starter for too long. Also want to let y'all know tight end Mason Pline, he was also placed on injured reserve as well, so that is another injury update. We have more, believe it or not, Billy May style. Alontae Taylor, we have reports for number 1 that he suffered a groin injury last Friday leading up to the leading up to the preseason game. He's expected to be out for a while. He's believed, though, to have avoided anything major, so that is some good news. Bad news is that he's hurt. Silver lining, the good news is that's not expected to be anything major. He should just be week to week. And in my opinion, I think this is a big blow to the defense, especially if he misses significant time. He's supposed to take on a new role as like a star player, similar to how Brandon Staley used Jalen Ramsey whenever he was the defensive coordinator of the Rams. That's kind of the role that Alontae Taylor was going to sort of fulfill for the Saints. And in terms of the replacements and who will ultimately fill in for Alontae Taylor, Ugo Amadi, I do think that he did a fine job last week against the Chargers. 2 tackles, 1 pass breakup, 1 run stuff. Terrell Burgess, also on the roster as well, was brought in as a free agent, but I do think Ugo Amadi has been a player that more times than not has answered the call. Sure, he's made mistakes, and sure, he's blown plays and had some bad moments, but so is every other NFL player. And for a guy who's a backup, I think he can play at a relatively good level, and he does fit in that role fairly well. But like I said, this is a big blow to the defense. Alontae Taylor was set to have a huge role as a leader, not just in terms of the production, but vocally as well. He was really embracing that aspect this summer, and so having him not be on the field just stinks. It hurts everyone, and the defense will definitely miss his presence. Hopefully for him, it's nothing serious. Hopefully for him, it's nothing super major. That will linger throughout the season. I'd like to see Alontae Taylor be available and play at a high level as much as he possibly can this season, especially considering you have decisions to make with him, once the season is said and done. Kellen Moore has also not shied away from praising this player. He says that he loves watching number 1. He's everything you want. He's got juice every day. I just feel like he's going to become a really prominent leader for our team. This is Kellen Moore talking about Alontae Taylor just a few weeks ago. I do think that he's a player that should have a big role, and I also think that Alontae Taylor's injury is one that's going to hurt the Saints. Injuries are piling up, ladies and gentlemen. This season hasn't even started. We have played 4 quarters of preseason football, and we already have put multiple players on IR. Feels like every minute we're getting new updates and new injury information around these players. So anytime there's anything notable, we are going to provide information. So be sure to subscribe so that way you can stay updated around all things New Orleans Saints. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss any updates around the black and gold. If you haven't already, subscribe, turn on your notifications. This is the one-stop shop for all things around the New Orleans Saints by Saints fans for Saints fans. I highly encourage you to subscribe today. Now, coming up, we are going to have more updates around some notable players, including Taysom Hill, Foster Moreau, Kellen Moore, providing new information on both of those players. But really quick, I got to tell you guys about a sale that we have going on. Chatsports.com/NOPolo. New Orleans Polo. No Polo. You see what I'm doing there. Chatsports.com/NOPolo. You can get this fresh Nike Polo. White with black stripes looks absolutely clean for what it's worth. You can rock this on game days at the stadium. You can rock this at the bar. You can rock this at the golf course. Or if you just want to be looking fly at work and you want to rep your favorite squad, chatsports.com/NoPolo. For what it's worth, Nike Polos aren't cheap. They're very nice. It was $70, but you can get it for $49 if you use our link. Click the link in the comments and description to go get yours today. Let's talk about Taysom Hill, Foster Moreau. The injury updates around them, like I said, not awesome. They are expected to miss more time. Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill, according to head coach Kellen Moore, are not getting back on the field anytime soon. That is a big blow to the Saints offense because both of those players are guys who can make a big time impact, not just in terms of the on-field production, but also locker room presence and just overall vibes and fans having guys to root for. Like the expectation for what it's worth with Taysom Hill has been and still is that he won't be available until mid to late season anyway. Remember, it's an ACL injury. He's upper mid 30s. Like, this is going to be an injury. It's going to take a while for him to return from. It happened in December, so it's going to take a while for him to be, not just able to walk around, but play football in the National Football League. The tight end room for the New Orleans Saints, when you don't have these players available, is very, very thin. So right now you can kind of just go ahead and cover up Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau because they're not available right now. So Maliki Matavao, Jack Stoll, Trayton Welch, Michael Jacobson, and Seth Green are your options. 7th round pick Maliki Matavao has an opportunity to make some noise. Free agent acquisition, Jack Stoll and Trayton Welch also have an opportunity to do something. Michael Jacobson has been a player that's been making noise at camp as well. Seth Green, an intriguing target or an intriguing player because he was a quarterback, moved to the tight end position, had some really good moments in the UFL with the Arlington Renegades. But, right now it's pretty much Juwan Johnson and, injuries. A healthy tight end room, in my opinion, would make a massive, massive difference for the New Orleans Saints because Kellen Moore's offense has been known to heavily lean on and utilize the tight end position. He's not shied away from using those players a lot at all of his different stops. So when you have more tight ends available, that's really, really good news for the Saints. They did not draft one until the 7th round. I was very adamant on the Saints trying to add one. They did not sign Noah Fant after a free agency visit. It does take two to tango in that regard, but I do think the Saints are going to be in the market, not just for a wide receiver, but honestly, should probably check out the tight ends as well. When it comes to other injuries, there's Will Clapp. We've discussed that in great detail on the channel. He was placed on IR with a foot injury. Bub Means, like we mentioned at the top of the show, placed on IR with an ankle injury. Both of these players' seasons is over. Good news for Devin Neal and JT Gray. They're both dealing with hamstring injuries, but yesterday at practice, they were actually working off to the side. So, it's good to see that they are starting to progress in the right direction. Edge rusher Yashin Davis also, he's dealing with an injury as well. He's been a player that's been making noise at training camp, and I do think that getting him back on the field would be really beneficial. I'd like to see him be an option, and I'd like to see him I'd like to see him be available, and I'd like to see him be an option for the New Orleans Saints. All in all, it feels like this team is cursed. Feels like somebody put some bad juju on this franchise and said, you know what, you guys are always going to have to just deal with injuries. That's how it is. That's what we're doing. Suck it. That's your reality. It feels like this team is the most injured every single year. Multiple people on IR. Nick Saldiveri is also on IR. And we have played 4 quarters of preseason football. It's unbelievable. I'm tired of injuries. I hate them, and I'm ready to squash the injury bug. So if you're with me, help me out. Let's squash this son of a gun together. Hit the thumbs up icon right now and squash that son of a bitch. Be sure to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. We are going to provide more injury news, updates, and information around your favorite football team anytime there's something to discuss. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. All righty.
Okay, we got one VOD down.
We got one down.
You know it hits so hard right now? Celsius.
We have Celsius packets.
Fuck, give me a second.
You want to go going?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Here, actually, can you? No, I'm actually good. No, I was gonna say can you, but no, I'm good. Actually, can you fill this up? Oh, I'm just getting hit. Yeah. See, we still have 2 more segs. I know that was just brutal. I hate that we had to deal with that. All righty. Here, just bear with me, guys. I gotta check this video. Gotta post this short. Man, I'm so bummed about Bub Meats. Type 16 in the comment section and just show him some love, man. I really thought he was going to be set for a big year. I even went as far to say I thought he could have a 1,000-yard season in Kellen Moore's offense, but damn. Just bear with me, y'all. I'm trying to get this content posted here around Bub Means. Man, dude. Are the Saints cursed? Yes or no? I see Who Dat Nation, Hunter Paget, Queen Courtney all showing love to Bub Means. Jartavius showing love. Josh the Great says the Trizzler. What's going on, brother? Eric Sims says, let's be serious, my G. I am being serious, dude. It sucks that he's hurt. SoFi curse strikes once again. It does. That stadium, for what it's worth, that's where Bub Means hurt his ankle last year and finished the season. He is no longer allowed to ever go anywhere near SoFi Stadium. Boo! I hate injuries, man. Man, I'm gonna get flamed for tweeting hot take Bub. Well, he got hurt. What am I supposed to do about that? I tweeted out back in May, Bub Means will have over 1,000 yards for the Saints this season, but it's like he got hurt. Didn't even get a chance. That's so funny. Preseason preview. Here, can you put yourself on? I'm gonna give some. I need to tweet this out. Yeah, you're good. I just need a second to tweet this, and I just don't want to like be dead air. Sorry. You can.
Okay, we can give some shout outs also while we're doing that. Remember to get your hashtag Saints in. I know we don't have many, so if you get a good question in, odds are you're going to be featured. Or if you want to ensure that you're featured, send in a little super chat. Also, we're still running a little deal. $100 super chat, or not $100 super chat, but $100 total in super chats. We'll do a little beer bong race. We're sitting at 30 right now. And remember, every $5 or more super chat gets you a raffle ticket into our end of the month raffle for a Saints gold jersey. Any player of your choosing. Or I shouldn't say any player. The ones that are available. Who Dat Nation, Saints, you think Drew should get a statue anytime soon? Yes, he will get a statue. I know he had that little thing, what I want to say with Dan Patrick, where he was saying, oh, I don't need a statue. I like Steve Gleason's more anyway. Drew Brees is getting a statue outside the Superdome. It will happen. The pose is going to be him holding the Lombardi trophy. Honestly, just get in the process of making it. It's going to happen. Here's a picture of the gold jersey that y'all could win with a, again, $5 super chat. And if you win our end of the month raffle, which anything's possible, all you need to do is gotta play once. Queen Courtney's in the chat saying, what legit chance has it with her? Okay, wait. The 3 half sadly aren't it. Well, Queen Courtney, if it turns out the 3 that we have are not it this season, there's a very strong possibility we can be picking a quarterback first round next year. Hop along the Nuss bus, and if that doesn't work out, we're doing a little March for Arch. We can do this all year for the next 20 years.
We can play this game as many times as we want.
Yeah. We'll suck until we get a new quarterback. Don't worry. But once we get a new quarterback that's good, we're back. We will be so back. Honestly, a gold Nussmeier jersey would feed families. That would be elite. Honestly, let's just suck this year so we can all get Nussmeier jerseys. We can all be aboard the Nuss bus together.
That actually would be electric. All get Nuss jerseys.
Yeah, we all get Nuss jerseys.
That would be so cool. I'd be all in on that, to be totally honest.
If that happens, I might have to tell you this little story about Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah, what happened?
I can't tell. We
can't
can't
tell
talk
us?
about it on there.
Why not?
It's a long story.
It's one of those stories?
Yeah.
One of those you can't tell people?
Yeah.
I see.
Some people might know. Some people might not. But it's a good story. Spam your hashtag, Saints. I'll give a couple more shout-outs. Come on. Chat's kind of dead right now. We're sitting at 8 chat rate. Josh the Great saying Teddy B went to Tampa. Yeah, very heartbreaking. Honestly, though, good for him because high school football kind of fucked him over from what it sounds like. He was trying to help out kids, and they were like, well, that's against our rules because you paid for them to do this, this, and this. So that sucks. Glad that he got out of that situation because it didn't seem like it was going to be a positive for him. But unfortunately, he is now in Tampa. And it's strange that both the competing quarterbacks are out of Chandler, Arizona.
I also want it on record. I have said multiple times when Baker was a free agent that I wanted to sign him, and I was told that would be the dumbest thing that they could possibly do.
Not saying you're wrong, but like
feels like saying signing Derek Carr was a lot dumber.
Like that moment, or
feels like signing Derek Carr was a lot dumber.
Yeah, but Baker Mayfield was not doing great when he was bouncing around.
No, he wasn't.
He was not doing great.
But it took it. He all he needed was a coach.
That's
somebody to deal with him.
Coach,
somebody who could work with him.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I don't think Dennis Allen would have worked with him, but it is what it is.
Avery Love saying Lyle Collins. Anyone? Didn't he just sign with the Cowboys? I think he re-signed with the Cowboys.
Yeah, he signed with the Cowboys.
So yeah, he will not be here.
Lyle Collins is off the market.
Do you think OBJ will play for the Saints? It doesn't matter. If he does, he's not. He's not fixing anything.
No. Bring back Michael Thomas.
I would be in for Michael Thomas. I could be convinced on Michael Thomas. Saints, if we don't sign another wide receiver, who's next behind Mason Tipton? I'm glad you asked. We can throw the depth chart for you. We can talk about it. But Trizzy's already saying Velus Jones, so there's one right there.
You could do Velus Jones. You could go DPJ, Ced Wilson. That's it. It's really not good.
Can't be Chris Tyree anymore.
Yeah, Chris Tyree is out of there. Moochie Dixon. He doesn't really move the needle for me, to be honest. Kevin Austin Jr. maybe. Like, it.
Mason Tipton, we're really praying for you over here.
Yeah, Mason Tipton, you are.
We need more than just
Mason
the tip.
Tipton, you are having a breakout season.
We need more than just the tip.
We need the whole thing.
We need a ton of tip.
We need the whole shebang.
We need a ton of tip.
Alrighty, gang. Sorry. I needed to get stuff posted. I need to get on Facebook. Sorry. One more. I'm almost done. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just doing my job. You can't get mad at me for doing my job.
Stop doing your job.
Gosh.
What kind of fucking guy does his job? It's 5 o'clock. Update on my Celsius, though. I got my Celsius.
What flavor did you get?
I want to say blueberry lemonade.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad. Got to stay hydrated since we haven't cracked a beer yet.
That's true.
Hunter Paget saying he needs at least 500 yards out of Tipton. Well, we need about 1,500.
Who Dat Nation. I'll tell you what. If we sign Colin Kaepernick, I think I actually have a better chance of getting signed than like Colin Kaepernick right now. I think I have a better chance of getting signed than Michael Thomas right now.
Okay.
Like, there's just no way Michael Thomas gets signed.
Hypothetical though, in some world, sign Colin Kaepernick, what does that live look like? Because we would have to go live the second that it happens.
Yeah, no, we would go live.
What does that live look like?
I mean, I can tell you right now, from a football standpoint, I think it would be the dumbest thing that you could possibly do. He wasn't good at the end of his career. Like, I'm not at all going to turn any of this into a politics whatsoever because I don't really like doing that. Simply from a football standpoint, he wasn't good, and he hasn't played in a long time. I think it would, quite frankly, be so stupid to do that. I think any team would be done. Like, just hang it up, man. Start a podcast. Do what every other washed-up football or washed-up athlete does. Start a podcast. Can you get the logo on?
Is he like still actively trying to get in the league?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every 9 months you get he's trying to return, and it's like
he's holding a private
workout.
Not
really. Like,
I wonder who shows up to those private workouts. Yeah. What's up, Ty Man? I see you in the chat. Ty Man the Buckeye. Hell yeah. Why not sign Gabe Davis and Tyler Boyd? We might need both.
John Mechie is certainly an option. That could be. We've talked about him.
Yeah.
I might need to make that a short because I've seen a bunch of people in my tweets being like, "Dude, go get John Mechie." Like,
probably just trade a 7th for him.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. I think you can set him at 7. Be done. Be done with it. Call it a day. Alrighty, we're gonna set 60 seconds. I'd be down for Gabe Davis. 60 seconds, and then we're gonna move to the preseason preview. 60 seconds. If you want to get a $5 super chat or a hashtag Saints in, and we'll be moving forward.
For those of you that didn't know at home, Gabe Davis, only 26. Just learned this the other day. Feels wrong, but it's not.
He turned what? He's
Gabe
only
Davis
26?
only
Yeah,
26.
he's only 26 years old.
Feels wrong.
He's only 26 years old. We're going to get into a preseason preview next. We're going to take a look at the Jaguars, take a look at the Saints, players to watch, all that good stuff. But if you want to get a $5 raffle ticket for a gold Saints jersey, send one in. You have 30 seconds, 20 seconds now before we get to the next segment. The goal of the day, if we get to 100 total, we will do a beer bong. We're at $30. We still got some time to get there. But we have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, dreaming young. Because it's $5 Wednesdays, you get 4 tickets for that, bro.
It's $5 Wednesdays?
$5 movie Tuesdays. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to give you an extra one because you're the MVP of the day so far. $20. There we go. Now we're halfway there to a beer bong race. Dreaming young. I'm going to go ahead and crack one open for you. Shout out to you, bro. Cheers to you, my friend.
We'll pop that up in a second once it loads in.
Just waiting for our software to get it going. Everyone, make sure you show producer Lopez some love. He's been kicking ass, taking names, and doing a really, really good job. We would not be able to do today's show without him. I'll drop his Twitter in the chat if you guys want to go give him a follow. You can get his comments and harass him. It's hilarious.
I need to be more active on Twitter.
Yeah, you really should.
I need to be one of those people that just like first thought in my head, tweet. I think I need to do that.
That's dangerous, but yes. I feel like you could also just be like always stirring shit up with people. Like just go be like just piss everyone else off at Chat Sports and just like you know,
That'd be fun.
Be hilarious. Be super funny. If you guys want to follow Lopez, I put his Twitter in the chat. Hey man, been a fan. Love you, dude. Who Dat Nation. Always been a fan. Love you, dude. Appreciate you, brother. Dreaming young. Fist bump for that. Boom. I don't know if you're 21. If you are, cheers to you. If you're not, this is a Dr. Pepper. Cheers.
If not, no one has to know.
Yep. If not, I didn't buy it for you. Alrighty. Let's get into the preseason preview. I'm going to take one more sip just because Dreaming Young's a legend. Dude, we've been live an hour, 15 minutes. We've done one segment. We've recorded 2 videos and done 1 cut. Like, it's just, it's incredible, man. It's incredible. I mean, what more could you ask for? Not a lot. Not a lot. Dude, holy shit. 500 views in 10 minutes on this short. Ugh, damn. This really also hurts my, like, Bub Means is going to be a star or like a sneaky good wide receiver. This really hurts my campaign for that because now it's 2 years in a row he's gotten injured. He's quickly approaching injury bust status. Really don't want that to be the case because I liked Bub Means a lot. Yes, we do have Mason Tipton. Yeah, Mason Tipton, you are the next New Orleans Saints breakout candidate. All righty. This sucks. Did I put Bub Means in the players to watch? I did. Let me see here. I don't think I did. I did it. I took him out. High five. Let's fucking party. All right, let's get into it. Nico, what's happening, brother? Good to see you, my friend. Last reminder, we are going to get into the cut, into the next segment. But last reminder, $5 Wednesdays are back. If you would like to get a raffle ticket, $5 you can get one, $10 you can get two, $20 you get four, $50 you get 10. You see how it is. It's every interval of 5 you get a raffle ticket. Normally on game days they cost $10. So buy one get one. My mom's calling me. I'm live right now. I'm busy. I have to. I'm about to. I love my mom, but I'm about to preview the Saints vs. Jags game. Just everything's going wrong. Everything's starting. If we get $50, I'll take the call right now. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not taking my. I don't because I honestly I don't know. Oh, let's see. She left me a voicemail.
Taken.
Oh, my mom. Okay. You know, she just called. She's like, "Hey, I'm just on the road. Figured I'd call and say what's up." I'm like, because you know how like on the voicemail you can like get the transcript of it. I was like, "Yep, that's that." Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Not a real one. Just kidding. I love my mom. That's funny as hell. All righty, let's get into it. Preseason week 2. Alontae Taylor is injured. He is injured. Alontae Taylor dealing with, what did I say, groin injury? Yeah, groin injury. Seth Fields, I see you in the chat saying, I saw Alontae in the thumbnail. Tell me he's not hurt. He suffered a groin injury last Friday at practice. He's expected to be out for a while. He is believed to have avoided major injuries, but should be week to week. So that's the update. All righty, preseason preview week 2 coming at you whenever Lopez is ready. Preseason week 2 is just around the corner. Saints versus Jaguars. And in today's video, we're going to provide a preview and the top players to watch here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. But I want to encourage you to join the live watch party. On game day, we are going to be live 1 hour before kickoff. So be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications. This is going to be the thumbnail whenever you see it. Click on it. We're going to go live an hour before kickoff at 11 a.m. Central Time to have a little tailgate pregame show, have some fun. So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the party. Now, this matchup is going to be an interesting one. The first time Kellen Moore will get to call plays as the Saints head coach in the Superdome. Last time Kellen Moore called plays in the Superdome, Lopez. Do you know what happened? He won one of these. He won a Super Bowl ring with the Philadelphia Eagles as the offensive coordinator. Not really paying too much attention to the betting odds, but it does start at noon Central Time. Saints are going to be the home team, and I think that this is going to actually be a pretty fun game to watch. The Saints will get to face a familiar opponent, and they get to face a familiar face. They get to take on a familiar face in Liam Cohen. He was the Buccaneers offensive coordinator last season, and fun fact, he led the NFL's only offense that finished top 5 in yards per game, scoring, passing yards per game, and rushing yards per game. He is now the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, so we will get to see a guy who beat the New Orleans Saints twice last year, now have a nod at a head coaching position and get to see him call the game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I can tell you right now, the player I'm most excited to watch is not in the black and gold. He is actually repping Duval. Very, 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 very eager to watch Travis Hunter. To be totally honest, like when you were watching college football last year, if Colorado was on, you tuned in. Like you can argue with me, you can say you didn't, but you watched Travis Hunter highlights. You knew what was going on with this guy because he was a very talented, very prolific, very impressive young athlete, and he's a player that the Jags traded up to go and get. And I'm just excited to see the utilization of an offensive and defensive player. Like, it's such an interesting guy, and it's such an interesting way to approach being a football player. Like, it's so unique. Taysom Hill, obviously, the Swiss Army knife, but even he isn't doing what Travis Hunter's doing. And for what it's worth, Travis Hunter, I don't think could do what Taysom Hill does, but what Travis Hunter's doing is extremely impressive. Against the Pittsburgh Steelers in preseason week 1, he did only play 19 snaps. 11 were offensive, 11 were offensive, 8 were defensive. In the offensive stats, 2 targets, 2 receptions, 9 yards, a long of 6 yards. Didn't really log anything in terms of the defense, but we will also get to see another player who absolutely popped off, and a guy that I am a personal fan of. I went to the University of Arkansas. I'm a Razorback. Cam Little, he was the kicker for the Hogs the past couple of seasons. I actually know the guy. He's really, really good dude. Hit a 70-yard field goal. Longest field goal ever kicked, ever in football, ever. Unbelievable. Will we get to see that? I don't know. But it is an absolute advantage to know you can line up at the 50-yard line and you're going to get points. I will say this. I'm interested to see how the special teams and how the Saints game plan against a weapon, I should say, like Cam Little. For the quarterback situation in New Orleans, I can tell you, I feel like last week there was a lot left on the table. All 3 of these players left some to be desired, left some on the bone, I would say. Spencer Rattler specifically, being the guy that got the QB1 reps and being the guy who started the game, I thought he would be more impressive. And considering the experience, considering it being his second year, I want to see him bounce back and have a really, really strong performance against the Jags. Tyler Shough, I thought, outside of the pick 6, had a really, really impressive day. And for what it's worth, if he connects with Kevin Austin Jr. on that deep ball early in the drive or early in his reps, I believe it was in that 2-minute drill, you're talking about his day completely different. He moved the ball well. He was efficient. He was effective. Pick 6 happened, sure, but he bounced back and threw a 54-yard bomb to Mason Tipton. Absolutely great way to go about it. Jake Haener just wasn't great, in my opinion. Didn't see a ton, but in my opinion, I think you don't really need to have him be in the QB1 battle, if that makes sense. Nothing against him. It feels like Shough and Rattler are truly the guys. The offensive line last week was a joke. It was not good. Will Clapp did suffer an injury early on. As we know, he has now been placed on IR. So has wide receiver Bub Means. But the guys in the trenches just need to play better. Dylan Radins, he played all of his snaps at the tackle position, both right and left side. He was not good. Needs to be better. He is now going to be playing at the left guard spot because Trevor Penning is dealing with an injury. He's going to be missing some time. The offensive line, in my opinion, is a unit that has the opportunity, if they can stay healthy, to be a strength of this team. However, the depth does scare me. Big shout out, though, to Toricelli Simpkins for filling in. We're going to talk about him more in a moment. Kellen Moore's offense, in case you didn't know, was very, very different than the offense that we saw last year under Clint Kubiak, and before that with Pete Carmichael and other guys in the fold calling plays and whatnot. The pre-snap motion was very, 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 very present. The New Orleans Saints had the 5th most snaps using motion in the first week of the preseason. That is not anywhere close to where the Saints were in previous seasons. Now it's more modern. They're moving their players around to create confusion and create distractions for opposing defenses. Kellen Moore's offense is modern. I really like to see it. And again, reminder, this is a vanilla version and a very bland version of this offense. I can't wait to see the starters run it at full speed with a fully open playbook. Last week, in my opinion, when the game was all said and done, sure, I was frustrated that we lost. I'm also not going to put a ton of weight into a loss in the preseason. but I really didn't feel any more or less confident. I thought that there were things last year, such as the run defense, that were really, really bad that were okay, actually. That being said, the mobile quarterback is still destroying you. So Trey Lance had a really good day on the ground. That needs to be better. The offense, in my opinion, like I said, left a lot to be desired. I'd like to see the rushing attack be better. I'd like to see the offensive line play better. I'd like to see more production from the wide receivers and from the quarterbacks. I didn't feel any different about this team after the game was done. I was not more confident. I was not less confident. I was just like, okay, well, we've seen a small dosage of it. I think I need to see more. I'm really, really excited to watch a lot of these players this week because there were a bunch of guys who stood out. But I want to hear from you before I tell you who my guys are. Who are you most excited to watch versus the Jaguars? Can be Jags players. I'll give you credit. Travis Hunter is going to be fun to watch. Maybe say Brian Thomas Jr. It'll be fun to see him back in Louisiana. I want to hear from you, though. Get in the comment section. Who are you most excited to watch for Saints versus Jaguars? Week 1 MVPs. I will just go ahead and say these are 5 players I'm really excited to see take the field against the Jags. Mason Tipton, he had that 54-yard bomb from Tyler Shough. He has been a player that's had a very impressive summer. He had a really strong summer last year, strong training camp, strong preseason. He ended up making the roster. I think that that's going to happen again for him, especially considering the lack of depth in the wide receiver room right now. Fadil Diggs, very, very impressive. He absolutely is on top of Isaiah Foskey in their battle for the edge rusher position. I think that he is a guy that is definitely leading that battle. In one preseason game, Fadil Diggs had a sack. In 1.5, Isaiah Foskey in all of his games combined, including the preseason, has 1.5 sacks. It's like Fadil Diggs is already doing really, really well. Toricelli Simpkins filled in incredibly well after Will Clapp's injury. He played, I believe it was 97% of the snaps and had a really, really good day. Held his own very well. I think he has a very clear shot to the roster. Velus Jones Jr., he was productive on the ground, productive in the air. He was productive in special teams as a kick returner, as a return specialist. Like, I don't know where you're going to find space for him on the roster, but, as a special teams guy, like that could be where he does end up making his money and end up having his biggest impact. Isaiah Stallbird led the defense in tackles. He had 8, and he had 3 special teams tackles. This guy was really, really good, playing with his hair on fire. I think that he is set to have another big game. I also will say I thought Tyler Shough was pretty good. I don't think that he had a bad day. Outside of that pick 6, it was an underthrown ball. It was a bad read. That is very true. But let's let him go to the tape. Let's let him have an opportunity to fix it. Let's let him learn from the mistake and grow and develop, because I do think Tyler Shough, when I was watching him pass the eye test, he looked like a quarterback. He looked comfortable in the sense of he looked like he knew what he was doing in Kellen Moore's offense. 15 of 22, 165 yards, 86.4 rating. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad day. It wasn't amazing. But I think a lot of people are sitting here and just only holding on to the pick 6. He had more yards than Shadur Sanders had in his preseason game. He was actually one of the better rookies in terms of rookie quarterbacks in their preseason debuts. Spencer Rattler does need to play better. I do think the edge is with Tyler Shough in terms of who will likely be the starter week 1, because of the facts that was Kellen Moore's draft pick, because he is the 2nd-round guy, 40th overall. Spencer Rattler, 5th-round guy, drafted by a previous regime. If Tyler Shough looks good, it's going to be his job. Spencer Rattler's going to have to look a lot better than Shough if he wants to be the QB1. So Rattler, only 53 yards, sacked a couple times, 75.2 rating. He definitely needs to be better. Other offensive players that you should keep your eyes peeled for. Kendre Miller, I'm expecting to have another big role. He was clearly the RB2 based off of the rotation and how he was utilized. Alvin Kamara did not play last week. Kendre Miller got the RB2 reps. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Cam Akers also had pretty solid outings for the limited reps they got. I do think that they have something to prove and could find a way to make the roster. Velus Jones Jr., like we talked about, he's doing a little bit of everything, so want to see him continue to play well. Toricelli Simpkins, he is an offensive interior guy, has played guard, can play center. I want to see him have another strong campaign against the Jags defensive line. Mason Tipton, in my opinion, one of the biggest all-stars from last week. Dante Pettis, I do think that he's actually a player that could be at risk of losing his job to Mason Tipton or maybe to Velus Jones Jr. That could be a player that's in a little bit of a battle with Velus. So keep an eye on those two guys going at it. Jack Stoll, Trayton Welch in the as well at the tight end position, and Dylan Radins, he's got to have a much better day. He was playing tackle last week. He will be a guard this week. I need to see him have a much better day. The Saints signed him to be high-level backup, and he needs to be that, a high-level backup. Friendly reminder, I want to just say it, there will be mistakes. This is still the preseason. If you want to go and overreact and say the season is ruined and we are screwed and we can just mail the season in because of one preseason loss, fine. Go ahead and be a Debbie Downer. Go ahead and be lame. That's okay with me. But if you want to be a little bit more realistic and you want to be, a little bit more optimistic, reminder, it's just the preseason. There's going to be mistakes. There's a lot of youth on this roster. Most of the guys that are playing are not veterans. A lot of these dudes do not have a lot of experience. These are backups competing to make the roster. These are not starters trying to earn more reps. Like, you're not going to really rely on these guys as much as you will in the preseason in the regular season. The playbook is going to be limited. The roster is going through a lot of different trials. The offensive plans, they're trying to change, or they're trying different things. This is a trial period. Just breathe. It's okay. It's just the preseason. You don't have to mail it in and be absolutely done with the season because the preseason doesn't look amazing. For what it's worth, we are getting real close to hitting 50,000 subscribers. We are 1,100 away. So hit the sub button so we can get to 50,000 subscribers. We're halfway there to a silver plaque, and I need your help. Not only do you guys help me out, but I help y'all by giving you daily Saints content, multiple live shows a week, and the most informative, entertaining, and engaging content in the whole wide world. Defensive players to watch. Let's start off with Chris Rumpf. He is a guy that did have a pretty impressive day. I think that, he's a player that I think could have an impressive day. He's made some noise at training camp, made some noise during the summer. Thadil Diggs, like we mentioned earlier, want to see him have a big day. Christian Boyd almost had a safety. Refs in the no fun league had to overturn it, but he had a really good day against the Chargers. Would like to see him build on it. Nephi Sewell Nephi Sewell, especially if he can continue to contribute on special teams. I really do like what I saw from the defensive line. This new 5-man front, I like it. It's different. It's unique. It's modern. There was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of time spent in the backfield by the New Orleans Saints pass rushers. Is there more to be desired? Yes. Can they play better? Absolutely. But was I impressed from what I saw? That is also true. More players. Julian Blackmon. Look, this guy is just continuing to be an impressive player for the New Orleans Saints. Training camp, he's been rocking out. Preseason last week, he had a really good day. Jonas Sanker, a versatile defensive back. I think he has an opportunity to make some noise. Jordan Howden competing in the safety room as well. Quincy Riley, Rico Payton, a couple guys that are competing to start opposite of Kool-Aid McKinstry. You also have Isaac Yadam in the mix. He had a strong day as well. But the two young bucks in Quincy Riley and Rico Payton, I think, do need to prove something and need to have some strong days. Rico Payton, I'm a big fan of. This is not a knock on either of these players, but I just really like them, and I want to see them continue to play well because I want them to make the roster. Most importantly, you got to leave this game healthy. Two players that got hurt last week are now on injured reserve. Will Clapp and Bub Beans. Trevor Penning suffered an injury. Alontae Taylor suffered an injury on practice on Friday before the game. You got to leave this game healthy. You cannot suffer any more major injuries. You can't suffer any injuries, to be totally honest. To be totally honest, in my personal opinion, you're going to need to make some moves for some players because this team and this roster has already started to get decimated by injuries. So please, for the love of God, football gods, if you're listening, please just let the Saints leave healthy. Who you got? Saints, Jags, type S, type J. Let me know in the comment section. And if you want to go above and beyond, give me a score prediction as well. I'm going to take the Saints to win Kellen Moore's debut at the Superdome. It's a preseason game, not real debut, but preseason debut. I'm going to take Saints to win that one. Get in the comment section and share your thoughts. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. That's my guy, Loco Lopez. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. Awesome. Okay. Dude, this one feels like a marathon because of that freaking cut earlier.
I know. This might be the longest Wednesday live we've ever had.
This is certainly a long one. It is definitely up there, in my opinion.
Remember to get your hashtag Saints questions in while you still can.
Yes,
or super
hashtag
chat
Saints.
if you want to be guaranteed to get your question answered.
Hashtag Saints. We're also going to talk about a cut candidate, Isaiah Foskey.
He's not a candidate anymore. He's just getting cut.
I just gotta do it. I'm going to love it. We're going to film it. Isaiah Foskey just got cut. And you're like,
fuck!
Okay.
Let me see how many questions we have. I'm thinking about it.
Dang, man. I think the Saints might be the most injured team in the National Football League right now.
Who do you fire for that though? Who's the problem there? Because they did all this changing up with the practices, they're giving them lighter practices to not get injured,
Well,
and now we're still injured.
Ankle injury in the game, I don't know how you prevent that. Turf toe, I don't know how you prevent that. It feels like you don't get these don't feel like soft tissue injuries. These feel like injuries that are like actual.
Like just freak accidents?
Yeah, it feels like a lot of these are like accidents or like just kind of it just happens. Can Stutzman beat out Pete Werner? Maybe.
Guess who's getting in the mailbag?
Maybe.
You're gonna be in the mailbag.
I will say it's hard to take Pete Werner off the field, considering the contract and the fact that he did lead the team in tackles last year. Like a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, Pete Werner stinks." It's like, what? Well.
Not right.
Yeah, he led the team in tackles last year, so maybe we pump the brakes on that. I just don't see a world where Danny Stutzman completely dethrones him. He'll be rotated in, but I don't think he'll completely dethrone him as a rookie. Not yet. Maybe next year, but not yet.
Now, God forbid another injury strikes.
Yeah, God
Stutzman
forbid
could
an
be
injury
linebacker
happens,
one.
and then Stutzman's definitely starting. Honestly, fuck it. Put Stutzman in at wide receiver.
Can't be much worse than what we got.
No, it genuinely couldn't be worse, even if it wanted it to be. Even if we wanted it to be.
He'd be a hell of a blocker, though.
That is true.
I'd like to think that.
That is true.
Like,
All right.
Just imagine like a stretch play to the right with Danny Stutzman out blocking. That'd be fun as hell.
Would y'all trade a fifth rounder for John Mechie? I don't even think you need to do a fifth.
I think fifth is.
You think
too
it's six?
much.
I do a six.
I think six.
You don't
be
have
like,
a seventh round this year, so you'd have to give him a six.
I think six would be like the max that it would take.
I think I know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow.
If you're still watching, you're
wide
gonna
receiver targets tomorrow.
You're gonna see a John Mechie video tomorrow.
Tomorrow, sneak peek. We're going to talk about wide receiver targets. All right, let's get this last segment done so we can call it a night because it's almost 6. Because injury news just couldn't have come in before live. Or tomorrow, that also would have been cool. I mean, we had a great show planned. I thought it was a good show. I will say I did like the second cut better, or the second take of the injury news better. I was stumbling a lot. I was kind of like kind of all over the place, but this one I felt much better. So I'm glad that we got to redo that one. But anyway, let's get into it. Isaiah Foskey, cut candidate. What? Some of y'all's favorite thing to talk about. Let's break it on down here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. For what it's worth, we did this last week and it was pretty fun. At any point in time during this video, we're about to start our Q&A segment, our rumors segment. If at any point in time we get a $50 super chat, Lopez and I will do a beer bong race. We drop what we're doing. Lopez gets on screen, and we chug. Sound good? $50, and we do it. And for what it's worth, we'd have to do a second one after because we would be at $100. So we'd have to do two. So you get two for the price of one if you send a 50. If you get one in, yeah, I know it is. If we get one, just plan on going producer cam, like the box, and yeah, the 2 cam, not the one where you're small above me, the one where we're side by side. So that way we can just chug it. I think that'd just be easier for everyone. Cool. There you go. Let's party hardy. Mailbag and rumors coming up here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. Today on Saints Now by Chat Sports, we're going to dive into some rumors around the black and gold. We're going to be discussing a cut candidate, second-round pick, number 40 overall, Isaiah Foskey, the former Notre Dame Fighting Irish edge rusher, was really, really talented back in college, and it just has not quite panned out. So we're going to talk about him, and then we're also going to get into our Q&A. This was filmed in our weekly live show, and every single week we like to do a live mailbag where the subscribers and the people in the chat ask questions, give us hot takes, and we respond to them. So if you want to be a part of this awesome content and you want to join our family here at Saints Now by Chat Sports, I highly encourage you to subscribe. Plus, if you bleed black and gold, this is the channel for you. Now let's talk Isaiah Foskey. It is no mystery. It is very blatantly obvious. For a guy who was Notre Dame sack leader, he has been extremely underwhelming. Since being drafted, he has 1.5 sacks, including preseason games. That's not good. And whenever he first started getting reps with the New Orleans Saints, a lot of what he was doing was trying to stop the run. And he was a player at Notre Dame that was known for rushing the passer. So, in my opinion, there's two. I really thought hiring Bo Davis and changing this scheme to be more similar to what he ran at Notre Dame, being a stand-up edge rusher, I thought that would be beneficial to him. But he's had a very quiet summer. He's had a very quiet training camp. He's had a very quiet preseason once again. And it's disappointing, quite frankly. And I'm not trying to knock the human being. I'm simply saying he just hasn't been impressive as a football player. And I'm a fan of Isaiah Foskey. This is a guy who was thrilled. He was fired up. Let me go back and watch the video of him getting drafted by the Saints. He went crazy. He was so excited. And those are the kind of players that I want on my roster. But you also got to produce. You also got to do the job and play at a good level. So, honestly, I don't know what happened. I don't know who's to blame. I don't know what went wrong. But something needs to start going right very, very quickly for Isaiah Foskey. Otherwise, I do think he's at risk of getting cut. 26.5 sacks in college. He's Notre Dame's all-time sack leader. And for what it's worth, it's not like Notre Dame is some small school, sorry, throwing strays at Nevada, but name any of their all-time leaders in anything. Just off the top of your head, you probably can't. Notre Dame is a historic, well-respected, storied football program. And he is an all-time leader in a very key department, I would say, on the defense. Not good that he has not been good. In terms of players who have been challenging Isaiah Foskey, oh, by the way, I will say this. I had a tweet that I put out. Be fully prepared. The Saints will cut Isaiah Foskey. The Eagles will sign him, and then he'll go have a 10-sack season. Just be prepared. It's inevitable. It's Thanos. It's going to happen inevitable anyway. Fidel Diggs, he's challenging Isaiah Foskey. 7th-round pick out of Syracuse. Really productive for the Orange. He was really good last week. Already logged a sack. Yashin Davis is dealing with an injury. I want to see him get on the field. I think that he has been really impressive this summer. UDFA has been making a lot of noise at camp and at OTAs and all that stuff. Jonah Williams, Chris Rumph as well have been competing to challenge Isaiah Foskey for that roster spot. Another key aspect of these players' games is how do they contribute on special teams? Do they or do they not produce in that department as well? Those are also ways for these guys to make the roster. So I know a lot of people have been critical. I know a lot of people have been disappointed in Isaiah Foskey, but Cam Jordan, he has said that he's been impressed, and he has said that he's starting to grow into his own. This was after the first day of training camp, for what it's worth. He's getting better and better every time he sees him. So, you want to see Isaiah Foskey continue his development, and you will start it. You want to see him develop, and you want to see him be an impactful player and live up to being the 40th overall pick, because he just hasn't quite yet. And I fear it hasn't written all over it. Saints are going to cut him, and he's going to go and do something great for another team. What will happen, though, with Isaiah Foskey? Do you think he ends up making this roster? If you think he does, type keep. If you think he doesn't, type cut. I think he might get cut. I'm going to be totally honest. But I want to hear from you, so get down in the comment section. And while you're down there, if you guys want to get a new Saints polo, we got a link for you, chatsports.com/NOPolo. I linked it down there. You can click it. It's in the comments or description of this video. It's also in the pinned comment. Just go into the replies of that. It's right there. Black with white stripes, absolutely fresh. It's perfect. If you want to go play a round of golf, it's perfect. You got a date. It's perfect if you wanted to go do some day drinking with the fellas. It's perfect if you go into a game. It's perfect if you just want to rep your squad at work, or if you just want to look fly and rep the black and gold. It was $70. It's a Nike polo, so they're going to cost a few bucks. But if you use our link, you can get it for $49. Chatsports.com/NOPolo. Support the show. Click the link in the comments or description, or simply search this. Brandon, we're going to start off our Q&A segment. Kenny Pickett to the Saints. I saw an article about it. I think I saw the same article. It wasn't Bleacher Report. I think it was like an SI article, like SI Browns put it out. Basically, and this was also put out, I think, before Shedeur was hurt. Basically, it was kind of saying, like, look, Kenny Pickett was with the Eagles last year. So was Kellen Moore. Like, Saints need a quarterback. They don't have a lot of experience. Kenny Pickett has experience. Like, he hasn't been great, but he also hasn't been dealt a good hand, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's fine and all. We can go in circles and talk about this as much as we want. At the end of the day, in my opinion, if the Saints wanted to make a move for a quarterback, at least a trade, they would have done it by now. Why wait until after the preseason when you could be using this time to get them familiar with the team, familiar with the scheme, familiar with the city, familiar with the locker room? Like, I just feel like if they wanted Kenny Pickett, they would have already done that by now. I'm not saying they won't go and target a quarterback after roster cutdowns. I don't think they will, unless there's somebody ridiculous that becomes available. But I just feel like if they wanted a quarterback, they would have already made a move for him. Just my personal opinion, but who knows? Maybe Kenny Pickett will be a New Orleans Saint. Can Stutzman beat out Pete Werner from Avery Love? Avery, I love this question because I think that hold on. Actually, let me run this back. I love this question because I love Danny Stutzman. I love talking about Danny Stutzman. I think he's going to be a very good football player. He's going to be very productive. And I do think the foreseeable future, and I do think the long-term future does involve Danny Stutzman. Now, I will also say Pete Werner was very productive for the New Orleans Saints last year. He was really, really good he's been really, really good for a long time. Second in tackles behind Demario Davis. He had 92 total tackles last year. So it's going to be hard to just dethrone that as a rookie, just for what it's worth. I'm not saying Danny Stutzman can't do it, but based on the contracts, based on the usage and, the facts of he's been around and has more experience, I think Pete Werner will get more reps as a starter. But also, I do think that it's fair to say we want to see him take that leap. It feels like we haven't seen him do that, right? Lopez, what do you think about this?
Kind of piggyback on what you were saying. It's hard to take Pete Werner off the field with what you're paying him and the productivity that he's given. But I can also see a world where Danny Stutzman is one of the more enticing LB3s in the league.
Yeah.
And Demario Davis isn't the youngest guy in the world. He might have 1, maybe 2 more years in him. After that, I'm excited to see Danny Stutzman. I would love to see him slide into that role. The energy that he brings to the team, I'm ready to see him on the field. And if he gets some snaps this year because of an injury, God forbid, might not be the worst thing in the world.
Yep. I do think Danny Stutzman has a really, really good opportunity ahead of him. I just think saying that he's going to be the starter it's a little too early to say that. Like, Pete Werner is not a schmuck, for what it's worth. Hunter Paget, and by the way, I don't think that's what you're saying, but I just think you got to wait a little bit longer to see Danny Stutzman take over. Hunter, in your opinion, if we don't sign a new wide receiver, who would be next up on the wide receiver roster? Well, you kind of took away my option. I was going to say Mason Tipton. Obviously, so I'm going to just kind of go about this in the lens of Bub Means, because he has recently been placed on IR. Obviously, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, those are your two starting guys. Those are your two top dudes. Chris Tyree is no longer on the roster, and they did sign Roderick Daniels, but I don't think that makes a massive difference on the roster or on the depth chart. Dante Pettis, not really. Kevin Austin Jr. maybe. Like, Mason Tipton's my answer. That's my answer, Hunter. Lopez, do you have anything different on this? Or
I was driving to work today, and we're in the Dallas area, and on the radio they were talking about the Cowboys and their depth chart and how some Cowboy insider had their corners, and his cornerback 2 was unnamed free agent cornerback.
Yeah.
I basically think that's the situation. We're waiting for the Saints to sign a receiver.
That's actually a really fair point. Amari Cooper, Gabe Davis, those guys are still available. Keenan Allen is not. I actually really like that take. It's going to be a player who's not on the roster right now. Justin Ross recently worked out with the Saints. 6'4", 2-time Super Bowl champion, Clemson legend. A.T. Perry recently passed his physical. Maybe you go and get him if he gets cut by the Broncos. I wouldn't trade for him, but maybe. Terry McLaurin you could potentially explore a trade for. I don't think it makes sense. There's not a lot of good options out there. I'm going to be totally honest right now. You're definitely going to see what's available after roster cutdowns. Zesty Hayner. Any chance the Saints can trade for Micah Parsons? Look, I always operate under the belief never say never when it comes to sports or anything really. But the New Orleans Saints need much more than an edge rusher to be a complete football team. And I don't think – I think if Chase Young was not in the mix, this would be much more realistic. But I don't think it's very realistic for a few reasons. One being you signed Chase Young re-signed and brought him back this offseason. And on top of that, Micah Parsons is going to cost a lot of money, and he's going to be a player – that is going to sure make a big impact, but it's going to be kind of tough to bring him in and pay him on top of all of the other guys you have on the roster. Can they? Sure. Any chance? Maybe, but it's pretty dang low. Lopez, what do you think on Micah Parsons to New Orleans?
I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see a world where it does. But if there is a chance at all that the Saints could sign him, chance the Saints could sign him, I think you do it. I think he's one of the best building blocks in the league.
I mean, if you get the opportunity, sure, you take advantage of it and you got to do it. But I also think it's going to be hard. It would be hard to pull up because 1, you have to trade away assets. 2, you're gonna have to pay him. 3, you're not ready. You're not rebuilt. You are in the midst of a rebuild, so you got to get to that first. You know what I'm saying? Let's say the Saints do consider this. What would you think about it? Is it dumb? Is it smart? Is it somewhere in the middle? Is it super dumb? What do you guys think? I want you to pretend to be the GM, or at least pretend you're in the front office, and let's say Mickey Loomis saying, hey, I'm actually considering trading for Micah Parsons. Are you saying, Mickey, make it happen? That would be absolutely awesome. Or are you saying, Mickey, what the hell are you thinking? Get in the comment section, share your thoughts, and let me know what you guys think. Appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with us here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, my name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was producer Loco Lopez. We always love hanging out with y'all. Be sure to tune in to the next live show if you would like to be a part of the Rumors Mailbag. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time. Boom. What's up? Oh, you're good. You're Gucci. You're Gucci. Yeah, you're Gucci. You're Gucci. By Tyler asking, who signed Keenan? Huh? Yeah. Well, this was Teachers and Texas studio. I wonder why. Dude, honestly, a candle in here would be nice. Can I bring a candle in here? Can I bring a candle for in here? All right, well then I'm bringing a diffuser, and I'm gonna bring something to make this room smell nice because that's definitely something we gotta do. Gotta bring in like a diffuser, like a air freshener or something. Just keep it in here all the time, so that way it always smells nice.
If you just want to get the smell out.
Dude, actually, I have room spray. I have this room spray. I'll bring it in tomorrow, and it smells awesome. And you like just spray like your couch, you spray like spray the room. It's crazy. And I'll just hit this room with it, and it'll make it smell awesome.
I was gonna say all we need. I can go to the bathroom right now, get some paper towels, light them, get like some smoke in there. That's what we used to do at work.
We're not performing
It got the smell out.
We're not performing an exorcism.
It got
We're
the smell
trying
out.
to make it not smell like ass.
It worked.
B.O.
It worked. It worked.
It's funny.
And plus, I really want to light some paper towels.
No, that's fair. Start
Start a small fire in the garbage can.
Totally get that. For what it's worth, we've been having a good old time. We're $50 away from doing a beer bong race. Are we gonna do it? You guys let me know. Share your thoughts.
We've been live for an hour and 57.
Yeah. Oh, we've been live for 2 hours? Damn.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do a 60-second shot clock. If we get any super chats, if we get a $5 super chat, we stay live. If not, we sign off. How does that sound? $5 super chat, you enter the Saints gold jersey giveaway that we're doing at the end of the month. If you want to try and enter, you could get a gold Saints jersey brand new for $5. Oh, that was beautiful from the Rangers. Jaron Duran, was that who that was?
I think Ezekiel Duran. Jaron Duran's on the Red
Yeah,
Sox.
Jaron Duran's on the Red Sox. That's right. I was like, wait, that's not right. That was an impressive toss from right field. Anyway, $5 for a raffle ticket today. If you wait till game day, they go up to 10. Just going to tell you that. But we've had a lot of good information shared on the show, a lot of injury news, a lot of updates, some rumors, and everything in between. You guys got to see how the sausage was made as well. Refilmed the whole segment because we wanted to make sure that it was quality, it was exactly what you wanted and exactly what you needed, and it was accurate information.
Hell yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who Dat Nation? I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling, and I appreciate you guys for always supporting this show. My name is Trizzy Trace. For my guy, Loco Lopez, y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.